So right off the top, we have. Uh, I saw the Mario movie today. It was so awesome. I just bought tickets for it. Yeah. So I've been looking to. I've been. When I say busy, like I've been having other things to do, but I absolutely want to go see this. So trust me, it is not on the. It is on my mind. We have some huge news to get to. So about the Super Mario movie. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. And this is probably why it's going to have a huge weekend. Anyways, speaking of Super Mario, that's a perfect segue to the first story. So, um, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I got to be honest. I knew it was going to be big. I didn't think it was going to be this big. So, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, and this is so this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, and this says this: uh, Super Mario heading for a huge $195 million plus domestic 5 day opening. Illumination and Universal Nintendo video game adaptation, the Super Mario Brothers movie, grossed an estimated $59 million over the Friday box office, and now appears to be heading to clear $195 million or more in its 5 day debut, well ahead of expectations and at the start of the year. Uh, the bow would be a near record Easter holiday opening for in record for Illumination. On Wednesday, Super Mario started off in North America with a huge $31.7 million opening and followed that up with another 26 on Thursday. Super Mario has every chance to becoming the first blockbuster of 2023, not only getting the PG rating, whipping up interest among families, it's appealing to the generation of adults who's growing up playing or still play Nintendo wildly popular Mario games, while critics are mixed on the movie and audience give it an 8 cinema score. Um, so the movie opened on Wednesday in order to take advantage of the spring holidays. It's also unfurling in 70 markets overseas. The animated comedic adventure follows Brooklyn plumbers and brothers Mario and Luigi as they are transported to the magical kingdom world and separated. So then it will go. So the movie's cast also has Keegan Michael Key, Anna Taylor Joy, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, and a couple of other people. Now, actually, the guys that did the voices, the original voices of Mario and Luigi, actually have a cameo. So the film is directed by Aaron Horthman from a screenplay from Michael Fogan. It's co-financed by Universal and Illumination. So Easter's other big profit offering here is Air. So Air, and by the way, I saw this, and I actually want to do a spoiler cast on this because it, I had so much fun. Easter's other new high-profile offering is Ben Affleck's Air, which is having a harder time scoring shots. The biographical drama about the early game-changing days of Nike, when it was trying to sign a young Michael Jordan, grossed $2.5 million Thursday for a domestic total of 5.8 million. Like Super Mario, open on Wednesday and is anticipating a 5 day debut of 18.7 million, which would put it on the low end of expectations and number 3 behind Mario and John Wick number 4. Air is historic in that it's the first movie from Amazon Studios to receive an exclusive theatrical trailer in thousands of theaters around the world before streaming on Prime Video and yet to be announced. It boasts a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and it's received an A cinema score. Okay, so let's talk about this because um, there's another piece of the puzzle I want to get to about this. But this is the big one here. This is the big one in Super Mario. Wow. I did not think for a minute this was going to be $195 million. Not at all. I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't know it was going to be this super. That being said, this is unbelievable. Now, I want to put this in context for everybody too, because this is it's one of those things where you you go, wow. So this goes to show you what kind of staying power this has, right? Not only is it generational, not only is it just amazing. So here, I want to put this in perspective for everybody because this is amazing. Okay, so this is 5 days we're talking about. If this scores a, let's say, hold on, excuse me, guys. There we go. So, as I was saying, if this scores $195 million, okay, this will be number 9 all time. This would be the 9th highest. Now, mind you, this is for 5 days, so you have to understand that. So that's something important to really understand. Okay, this opened Wednesday and Thursday. So yeah, I mean, if it opened on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it would probably be 100 million. It's still an incredible take home. I'm happy it's doing well. Now let's quickly talk about the difference here, because you have an audience score of 96%, okay, and you have the critics that don't like this. And I'm wondering, so there's a couple of things here I think that could really make this interesting. Number one, the age range, right? I mean, I don't know. They probably played Mario, or they maybe had exposure to it. That's a possibility. But number two, it could be the story. So anybody who's seen it, as Coco was alluding to earlier, knows of the story, and it's a very bland story. So that could be a big possibility. Like, this is, not the best story in the world, but it's very bright and it's very colorful. So I don't know. I don't know why there would be such a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Nonetheless, though, he does have a 96% audience rating. And I think, that being said, the reason why this is going to make so much money is because this appeals to the 18 to 49 crowd. Males and females, kids alike, because it is animated, okay? And it's one of those things where I think it's just fun. I mean, look at this picture here, and it tells you everything you need to know. It's colorful. It looks fun. It looks like Mario 3D, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I still want to see it. I'm absolutely looking to see this because I know this is going to be a good time. I just haven't gotten around to it. So it's one of those things where I can't wait to see this. But let's turn our attention to this other film, because I think this is the one that I said, and I was contending to people that it was going to have a much bigger opening than it has. Okay, and that's Air. Now, everybody, men and women, young and old, they know the name Michael Jordan. They know the name Michael Jordan. And this was a fantastic movie. It was well acted. The story was good. It was just overall, and even though you know the ending of it, you still are rooting for it to be a good movie, and it is. I loved it. There's not enough things I can say about this, and so I can't wait. I mean, I want to see it again in theaters. That's how much fun I had. I mean, I don't go to the theater, to see movies multiple times unless I really like it. So this is one of those I want to see. Now, this leads in to another part of the story about profits and everything else. So this comes from The Wrap and Scott Mendelson, and he was on the show about a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. Fantastic guy, um, and he writes fantastic pieces for the Wrap. So if you guys ever want to go over there and read his stuff, he's really good. He also hosts a weekly Twitter space with Jeremy Fowler, which we're hoping to have on, right before blockbuster season for that. So I wanted to read some of his article as well, because it's really going to give an insight to the wealth of streaming and how that is done. So um, the piece is entitled "Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's Air Shares Amazon Streaming Wealth." So Air, which opened in wide theatrical release on Wednesday and stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Viola Davis, Chris Tucker, and Jason Bateman, details how a then underdog Nike bets on its footwear future on then rookie Michael Jordan. The film dramatized the boardroom pitches and frantic business calls into a tale of how capitalism was pretzeled into supplying fortune and glory to member of a demographic rarely on the receiving end. So it makes sense that Skydance and Mandalay Bay film from his the first one produced from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's Artist Equity. One of the selling points of the venture is the promise of profit participation from both above the line stars and below the line. So above the line is like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Below the line is all the technical stuff, the editing, the cinematography, the music, everything else. The Hollywood Titans dipped into their own fees along with money saved during the production via artist-driven efficiency to create a discretionary bonus system, Insides told the Wrap. Artist Equity is pitching the system as an old-school solution to a new streaming era problem. Box office-based bonuses are becoming outdated due to a challenging theatrical marketplace, while streaming viewership is clouded in mystery. Yet the changing economics around streaming and new thinking about the value of the theatrical releases are the very factor that has let Air and its unorthodox financial structure come to life. Now, I have to say one thing. This is a very long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You guys can go do that. But I'll just read one other little snippet here, and I'll talk about it. Our goal with Artist Equity is to build a creator-focused studio that can optimize the production process with shared participation in the commercial success of projects, said Affleck in a statement last November as he announced the undertaking of the project. It's far from the only one in its kind. Angel Studios, for example, billed itself as a crowd-funded entertainment empire specializing in, but not exclusively releasing, faith-based theatrical and streaming content like Christmas with the Chosen and last week, His Only Son. CEO Neil Harmon said that, quote, when people are involved in the process of making the movie, our stakeholders, they can put more care into it. They're creating a production company where everyone can get a piece of the pie, end quote. I'm not going to read the whole thing, like I said, but I want to talk about it. This is important. Now you say, well, why do we have to have people that are having the, funding these things? Because it's important. Okay. When the fans have a say in what they're watching, they want to watch it. Okay. They want to come back and watch it more. That being said, now this movie had a $90 million budget, and that seems excessive. I know, but one of the things is the reason why it had such a big budget, it isn't the stars. I mean, it's not like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck took most of the money. They had this big budget so they could actually do this. So I have a viewer here. Alex, how's it going? I found myself checking my watch during the last 20 minutes of air, not because it was too long, but because I didn't want it to end. Yes, I know, Alex. I'm right there with you. Because this is one of those movies, everybody knows how it ends. Okay, everybody. But it's about the making of what happens and how they were able to sign him and everything else. And by the way, here's a little note, okay? Two little notes about this. Number one, this was on the blacklist of scripts. Now, blacklist. So these are scripts that are like great ideas that the studios don't want to pick up. So this screenwriter, who's 25 years old, actually he got the inspiration for this by watching the documentary The Last Dance, which by the way is a phenomenal documentary. But he's it was amazing. So what they ended up doing, okay, and when I was talking about with how they didn't take all that money, Affleck and Damon, what they did was they gave him full story credit, which meant he made more money on it. It was his first script. And that's amazing. So I totally agree with you, Alex. Unbelievable movie. I love it. The one thing I would have to say about this is there were about 6 or 7 when they're used well, they're used well. Like Silver Linings Playbook, the end of that 360-degree shot was magnificent. The one detractor I'll say about this movie is this. They used about 6 or 7 360-degree shots. That's it. That's it. That's the only criticism I have. Otherwise, it was an amazing movie. I want to go back and see it again. I think it's amazing. And yeah, it's just all the way around. I hope I could see maybe a best screenplay coming from this. We'll see though. What do you guys think? Have you seen Super Mario Brothers? Have you seen Air? Did you like them? Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. I'll get back to everybody.